Hi, I'm Christina, and this is New Ways Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Today is going to be part 2 to the last solo episode that I released, which was my spiritual journey. After re-listening to it, and even while during the conversation, I realized that, it was the start of my spiritual journey. I didn't even know it was a spiritual journey, but it was also very much me stepping into my new life, me gaining the confidence and having the faith to move forward and create something new. And I really hope that's what you guys got out of it through these episodes. Even if you don't want to become spiritual, I think that by hearing my journey, maybe it can give you some courage, some tools to move forward with intention and to believe that you can change your life. I was stuck in my old life for ever, it seems like. I kept repeating the same patterns that were ingrained in me since childhood. And finally, a little voice in my head told me, fuck it, you deserve different. You want different. And I listened. And if I did that, you guys can do it too. We all possess such amazing powers. You just have to realize it. So, in this episode, it's a continuation of the last one. We left off when I just got to California. And if I told you guys every single story that magically changed my life in California in some way, shape, or form, we're going to be here all day. So, what I really want to focus on are those moments that really changed the trajectory of my life. The big ones where I'm like, wow, I still implement on a daily basis today, and I feel like are so key in creating a peaceful, happy, joyous life and gaining more confidence in stepping into spirituality and believing in something bigger than yourself. I'm going to focus a lot on the modalities that I learned because California brought a lot of different modalities into my life when it comes to connecting with myself and releasing old limiting beliefs and old traumas that were holding me down and blocking my energy. And to keep the continuity from last time, I guess I'll just share one story about when I first got to Cali, which was that me driving around California, I had a feeling that I was meant to be there, that I wasn't going to be leaving for a long time. And I want to reiterate this too, is I have such faith that we know deep down what we want for ourselves, what is best for ourselves. It's just we let the outside noise, we let the little voice in our head and circumstances convince us that it's not for us, convince us that it's not a good idea. But I tell people this all the time is I have 3 sisters. We are very, very different, unique individuals. All of us have different personalities and we all live on different coasts. And I feel like each coast fits us so well and we've thrived in the cities that we're in. So I do believe when you take a leap of faith and you put yourself in different environments, if you just give yourself a moment to breathe and actually be where your 2 feet are planted, you can get a sense if that area is for you or not. And if it is, just trust the process because I swear to you, it'll probably end up different than you thought, but in the most beautiful way possible. So I end up in California, and the first hour was great. Loved the energy, loved the mountains. I saw the beach. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let alone how could you not love California, right? But I digress. So I was heading to my Airbnb because I had to go to work tomorrow. My Airbnb was in downtown LA. And of course, I'm just like, if I'm going to move to a city, I've never been to California before this moment. I'm supposed to live here for a month also, you guys. Decent leap of faith. And I'm like, if I'm going to live in a big city, I have to live downtown, right? I didn't know what downtown LA was like. And let's just say it's not my cup of tea. It's not the best city that I've ever been to say the least. I don't want to trash talk it because I love California, but downtown LA, there's a lot of better places you can go. But that's what my thought process was, is I'm like, oh, big city. Like, you stay in the city, right? You don't go to the burbs. You don't go to the smaller towns. So I booked an Airbnb in downtown LA, and I should have kind of known from the get-go something was off. This guy was just kind of weird energy. He kept postponing my check-in time. Finally, I get there, and it's just one thing after another. He's like, there's no parking. I'm like, what do you mean there's no parking? He's like, well, I have to talk to the front desk. And I'm like, okay. Tell them you're my friend. This isn't supposed to be an Airbnb. Okay, sir. Fine. I need a place to stay. I have to go to work tomorrow. Let's just get this over with. Go into the apartment, and this was the final straw. Not in the moment. It took me a moment to realize this was the final straw. This place is absolutely filthy. Absolutely filthy. And I'm still on cloud nine at that point because I'm starting this new journey. I'm so tired also. I have 2 huge suitcases, a month's worth of clothing, and I just hopped off of a 5-6 hour flight from Chicago. And this place is disgusting, where there's socks thrown in the corner of closets, there's ashes on tables, there's food in the fridge still. And finally, the final straw, he leaves, and I'm like, dude, just bring me cleaning supplies. This is disgusting. We're joking around. I'm just trying to have fun with it, be a nice person. I'm like, clearly, I don't got a girlfriend because this place is not the cleanest. He's like, me and my brother are just trying to make a quick buck. Whatever. Respect the hustle. He leaves, and I look at my sock, my white socks, completely black on the bottom. And I'm like, okay, this is unacceptable. I can't do this. So I go and I call Airbnb. Thankfully, they're super understanding. I send pictures just to validate my case, and they put me up in a hotel and help me find another Airbnb in the process of it. I go about my merry way. Most people would say, wow, that's enough for me to just run for the hills, right? You just got off of a flight. You're supposed to be working for a month, and this place is absolutely trashed, absolutely nasty. You have no place to stay. Take a deep breath. At this point, I was trying to practice, and I still practice this to this day, is we do not create more chaos in our life, people. We do not worry about situations we have to worry about until they are presented directly in front of us, okay? So I had faith. I trusted the process. I'm like, right now I'm in a hotel. I'm in a different situation. I'll have time hopefully tomorrow to figure out the Airbnb. It's all going to work out. It's all fine. I don't want to freak out. I felt like crying for a minute. Knew me would have allowed myself to cry because it probably would have also made myself just feel better too. I didn't, but I was like, I just trust the process. I went to sleep. And the next day, I wake up to a bunch of like harassing text messages from my old Airbnb host, the one I just left, calling me name. Well, first he's flirting with me. And then when I didn't answer him, or I respectfully just responded like I couldn't do it, then he starts calling me racist. I block him. He makes an Instagram, tries to talk to me, block that Instagram. It was a whole ordeal, meaning like I had to actually file a report. And Airbnb even calls me saying, like, just letting you know he is asking us where you're moving to. And obviously they didn't give up my location, but I had to file a report on this man. And in my head, I'm sitting at this hospital. It's my first day there on my lunch break. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why? Because at this point, I'm learning to trust in the universe. I'm like, why? Why? I couldn't see why in that moment. If I just waited 24, 48 hours, I saw why. So after all that dust settles, Airbnb is sending me options. Due to it being a last minute listing within that price range, there's like nothing available. Nothing. So they help me find a new place. They put me in a place I actually wanted to originally be in, but was a lot more expensive than that one place that I originally booked. I'm talking a lot more expensive. Airbnb is footing the bill due to the circumstances that have arrived. I ended up in a amazing location in a great apartment in Westwood, California, right by Brentwood, right by the beach, right by the mountains. A great location that introduced me to so many things. And that just kind of validates my belief right now that I don't necessarily believe in good or bad anymore. You never know what that situation right now that's arising is going to bring you in the future. It's a redirection. It could be forcing you down a new path to something even more beautiful that you never expected. It could be forcing you to learn a lesson that is going to pay off 10 times in the future. You genuinely never know what something that arises it's bringing you. And I get that there are horrible things in this world that shouldn't happen to anybody, but I do believe that you can turn unfortunate circumstances into either your superpower or you can let it defeat you. Which one? I choose my superpower. You let me know what you choose. I choose the thing that feeds me. I choose the thing that keeps me going. And that's what's paid off in my life. Choose what is best for you, not the realistic thing, not what everybody is telling you. Choose what is going to make you level up. Choose what is going to serve you. through ending up in this new place in LA, I met so many great people because I was in a great area that had a lot of things that I loved to do. I met my people. And I don't think that if I actually landed up staying in downtown LA for a month, if I would have stayed in California, because, like I said, downtown LA is not my vibe. It's not that close to the beach. It's also not close to a lot of hikes that I like. It's not close to a lot of the studios that I go to now. I just can't help but think that if I ended up in downtown LA, who knows, maybe I would have stayed. We'll never know because that's not what happened. Thankfully, I feel like that everything unraveled in my favor and that it worked out in the most beautiful way because I started meeting my first friends in that area. Being surrounded by an environment that's light and really naturey inspired me to go out of my comfort zone and do a lot of different things. I did so many things when I first started going to LA. I started implementing fun. I started practicing more healthy things just naturally. When you're in an environment that everybody around you is eating healthy foods and working out and wanting to do better, you want to do better. I genuinely believe that the people that you surround yourself with, regardless if it's your 5 best friends or it's your community, that is what rubs off on you. We all have this aura about us. We all have this essence to us. And if you are in vicinity to people that are doing well, you're going to want to do well as well. California really introduced energy to me in the most amazing ways in so many different modalities and different aspects. And through the people that I met, though, I learned so many different practices. One of the best practices that I preach to anybody who's a beginner that just wants to feel more connected or honestly calm their nervous system and find more peace in their life is meditation. And I want to tell you guys that you can't do meditation wrong. You can't. You just have to try. I started learning from being on a hike with friends. We sat on a bench and we played a guided meditation in our headphones. And through there, I learned about guided meditation. And I was doing guided meditations and I learned, I'm like, oh, wow, I can actually calm myself. And when you calm yourself, it's so funny because through a few people too, I learned that we are essentially spiritual beings having a human experience. Like you're a spirit in a meat suit. When this meat suit, when your body, when your avatar dies, you're still gonna exist. That's something that I've learned through the people in my community and through books that I've read is that we are spiritual beings. And through meditation, what I really learned is I was like laying there, I was meditating one day and I'm like, wow, I can't really even feel my body. And it was the weirdest thing on earth. And that's what kind of got me to think, I'm like, okay, maybe some of this woo-woo shit is actually right. Also, my first few months in LA too, even though I was meeting people, don't get me wrong, I was still homesick. I was still living alone for one of the first times in my life. And I was still in a learning process. I don't want this to sound like it was all sunshine and rainbows because it wasn't. And I'm also at a point too where I have learned through these modalities too that the pain is okay. When you can find good in the pain, that's amazing. It's so cool how we get to live this human experience and how we get to have these different emotions that are guiding us into learning and growing as human beings and excelling in this world. I do believe that emotions, the more you fight it, the less you learn and the more that they actually persist. When you resist, things persist, you guys. If you keep fighting an emotion, it's gonna keep coming to you. It's going to keep burning you down. But when you actually just allow yourself to feel it and say, oh, this sucks, but I'm grateful for it because I know there's something underneath the pain. I know there's something underneath the sadness and it's teaching me something. That's what opened up my world as well as that's something that I've learned. And I was actually just listening to a podcast too about how great is it that I loved somebody so much that after their passing, I feel so much sadness. The human experience is filled with so many contrasting things. The more I look around, the more I'm like, everything just seems like a paradox. You cannot have one without the other. One is always serving the other. We need a combination of absolutely everything in order to level up in this world to thrive. And the second that you realize that and accept that, and just once again accept where your feet are planted, where you are at, how you are feeling, the world opens up so much and you feel a sense of calmness in yourself. You don't freak out anymore. When you're going through pain, when you're going through suffering, when you're in an ideal situation, you can actually just be like, okay, this is what's going on. You feel it, you learn from it, and you move forward in the best way possible instead of being reactive. And meditation really just taught me to be still and listen to what my body was feeling, listen to what my mind was telling me. Your mind loves to play tricks on you. I started reading so many different books when I got to LA. I started reading Michael Singer books. He is such an amazing author, philosopher, and I'm pretty sure he's a businessman too. And he talks a lot about how your thoughts are not actually you. Something that I learned was just learning to analyze my thoughts and so, like, watch them pass by like balloons, watch them float by, realizing that they are not me. I get to choose what serves me, and anything that doesn't serve me or resonate with me, I can just let it float by and pass like a balloon. Mindfulness was taught to me. Meditation helps you realize your thoughts in your head are not actually yours. It helps you calm your nervous system enough for you to actually be open and honest with yourself. So, meditation, mindfulness, huge modality that was brought to me from my journey in life. Other things that I love so deeply are body work and energy work. The first time I had Reiki, I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what do you mean this woman's gonna heal me with her hands and her energy? Okay. It made no sense. She had like a bowl on my chest, ring it, vibrated through my entire body, and then she did her work and I went on my way. But after, I felt a sense of calmness and I'm like, okay, validated again. Energy's a real thing. I did body work, somatic therapy, where this one therapist would poke certain parts of my body and it would hurt like motherfucking hell. This woman is tinier than me and she was making me cry like a little baby. And I think I'm a pretty tough person. These spots she would poke on my body, I would get flashbacks. I would get chills down my spine. And the more that I would cry out, or not even cry out, the more that I would prevent myself from crying out and try to suck it up, the more it hurt. And that's when I learned the blessing and surrender. And she's like, just let it go, let it scream. It doesn't matter how nasty it is. We're human, you guys. Every single one of us has a nasty side to us. We also have amazing sides. And the second that we learn to accept all part of us, it's the second that we all heal a little bit more and can move forward more fully ourselves and not freak out when one of these emotions come up that we've been told to demonize. My therapist was like, Christina, let it the fuck out. The second I allowed myself to feel it, gave in to the pain, let myself cry, scream, kick, whatever it is, she's poking the same area, do not feel a single thing anymore. And I was like, I'm getting chills talking about it. That was something that I never knew, is the body actually will hold stored energy. If you do not allow yourself to express something or feel something, it will store itself in its body. You have to let those emotions out. That is how we regulate as humans. We live in such a fast-paced world that we don't allow ourselves to feel anymore. Therefore, it is stored in our bodies, and we all wonder then why our bodies chronically feel like shit. It's like you walk down the street and you almost get hit by a car. You're like, oh my gosh. You freak out for a second and you go on your merry way. When in reality, you probably actually had to register. Oh my gosh, I just almost died. You should be a little shaken up. You should allow yourself to be like, oh my gosh, what happened? And release it. You should have allowed yourself to cry, laugh, scream, whatever you have to do in order to get it out of your body. That's what somatic and bodywork therapy has taught me, as well as breath work, is that if you do not release your emotions, if you do not regulate, they will be stored in your body. It will implement your mood. It will also implement your energy and your physical body. You will be in chronic pain. Ever since practicing a lot of these modalities, my back hurt so much in my early 20s. I'm in my 30s now and I feel fucking fabulous. I tell people all the time, I just feel like I keep getting younger. And I am so grateful and so happy for these things. So I hope if you are interested and you try them, they help you as well, because Lord knows they've changed my life. Like I just mentioned too before, breath work, a huge game changer for me. Breathwork, the type that I do, is hyperventilating your body for about an hour. It's really scary. I'm not gonna lie. You're in a room where, like, some people, they don't feel anything. Some people are very peaceful. I'm at the point where, honestly, like, I like it. Like, I'm just over there. I'm like, I'm done fighting. I'm done screaming. I'm done crying. I'm just gonna allow myself to sit here and feel what I have to feel. But some people are crying. Some people are screaming. Some people are kicking. Some people aren't having that interesting of an experience. But what it does is it kind of activates your stress response and allows you to actually release those things that are going on in order for you then to go into your restful state of being. You have to release all this stuff in order to calm your nervous system and be in a restful state. There is so much science behind a lot of this stuff, you guys. I don't know the main logistics of a lot of it. That's why I don't want to go into it. But if you want to go down a rabbit hole, please do. I'm just the person where I do it, and my experience for me is enough to be like, wow, this is life-changing. But yeah, LA's just taught me so many different modalities. I don't even know how long I've been going on this podcast at this point because I forgot to set a timer. I probably should have started one. But I digress. Those are a lot of the amazing modalities that I have learned that help me regulate, that have helped me honestly just realize that there is so much more to this world than the physical eye actually meets. It's so funny when you are calm and still within yourself. I say all the time, I'm like, if you're always talking to God and you don't shut up, how are you going to hear him? Our little monkey brains and the outside world loves to keep us distracted, but I find so much clarity in the silence. I get downloads. I get epiphanies. It's like you know things that you never even knew you knew, or you know things that you just forgot. I feel like learning how to just be human again really makes you see that this world is so beautiful and so vast. And I just can't help but think that there's something bigger at work. You genuinely feel it in your heart and your soul because there's so many things to me that I can't really explain but make so much sense. And on that note too, I think that when you are truly stepping into who you are, which is what all these modalities helped me do, they released what I wasn't and made me realize who I am and what I want to be doing. And I really got more pep in my step. I really got more confidence. I feel like I really started vibrating at a different frequency. And it's funny because looking back on my life too, I've met so many amazing people. So many amazing people. It's weird because I've only lived in LA for 5 years, and I can say that it honestly feels more like home to me than where I grew up, than where I lived for 23, 24, 25 years of my life. And I think it's because I was just being myself, so I attracted the right people. I attracted the right friends that I needed in the moment. Looking back now, a lot of my friends do a lot of cool shit, and we support each other, and we grow, and we build each other up, and we grow together. And every single time that I needed something in my life, regardless if it was a new modality to be introduced to me, regardless if it was help in my career field, help with the podcast, or a shoulder to cry on, or just some advice, the right people magically appeared in front of me. And I think that is genuinely just because once you start doing what's good for you, the universe recognizes that and says, hey, you're open to getting what I want to give you. And it sends it your way. So that's a very, very brief overview of a lot of the spiritual practices, a lot of the mindfulness practices, a lot of me just glowing up from the few years that I've spent in LA so far, and that is literally just the tip of the iceberg, you guys. Please reach out if you have any questions. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was informative. And if you want me to elaborate on any of the modalities that I did speak about or any of the topics, please do. I'm just so grateful for you guys listening, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to share things that I love with you. So thank you so much for listening. Until next time, I love you.